Hi, my name is Darcy Friesen-Hossack, and I'm here to read a little bit to you today from my book, Mennonites Don't Dance, which was published by Thistledown Press in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. I'd like to thank Marv Fenich for inviting me to participate in her reading series. So this is from the title story, Mennonites Don't Dance. Lisbeth bent down to pick up a spoon, wiped away the small splat of cream gravy left where it had fallen, and paused to watch her mother and sister's feet moving over the kitchen floor, a choreography of sensible shoes. If she'd had her way, Lisbeth would have hitched a ride into town that morning with her father and two of her brothers, even though all they planned to do there was buy 2 more cartons of grapefruit and maybe argue down the price of a reconditioned tractor. Lisbeth would have given her left braid to get near a little civilization, even if it was only Swift Current. From the tractor yard, she could watch people as they walked along the sidewalk. Imagine that they were going to the mall or a matinee. More than anything, Lisbeth wanted to go to a matinee. She was a bother in the kitchen anyway, because hundreds of years of Mennonite tradition weren't about to give her a day off. She swaddled herself in an apron first thing every morning, just like her mother and sisters who, unlike Lisbeth, never thought of running to the edge of their village to see whether they'd fall off a precipice straight into the real world. Since she couldn't go into the city unaccompanied by at least one member of her family, though, the best part of Lisbeth's day, the part she lived for, was when her father and brothers came in from the fields for lunch. Lisbeth plonked whatever bowl of dough she was babysitting onto the counter and hurried to meet them at the door. Today, her oldest brother Matthew was the first one in. He chuckled at Lisbeth, greeting him there as faithfully as any dog, and set down a bulging crate of citrus. Been doing lots of cooking, I see. No one in the family could miss the fact that their mother's domestic genes had been magnetically repelled by Lisbeth. No one took it very seriously. They all assumed Lisbeth would eventually fit the mold. She already belonged in other ways. Her thighs, for example, which had thickened since she turned 13, certainly made her look Mennonite. Matthew tousled Lisbeth's hair, although she was old enough that he'd soon have to stop kidding with her. Just one more reason, as far as Lisbeth could tell, that there was nothing much to look forward to about growing up, especially growing up Mennonite. The only people more excruciatingly bland were the Hutterites, with their farm cooperatives and shared everything, like living in a nunnery, except you still had to clean up after the men and have dozens and dozens of children. Lisbeth's mother had grown up a Hutterite. Since they came from the same square wheel as the Mennos, her marriage to Lisbeth's father didn't make them unequally yoked. It explained a lot, though, like why her mother alternately defended communal living, yet was glad to be among Mennonites and all of their loosey-goosey ways. The Hutterites have the best sewing machines you'll ever see, Lisbeth's mother told her once, as though it were an object lesson. So, what's the point of a fancy sewing machine if you think zippers are the devil's fastener? Lisbeth had retorted. That's the Amish, honey, her mother had said, as though that made Mennonites who had shunned rubber tires for years normal. Lisbeth considered it a modern miracle that her family owned 2 Ford trucks and a car. One of the trucks was Matthew's, and the car was for taking Lisbeth's mother wherever she needed to go, which was usually to the church with a jellied salad. She had an entire cookbook of jellied salads and never made the same one twice. Thank you.